Thinking about buying or selling a home in Brevard County? The market is shifting, and if you're waiting for the right moment, this is a video you do not want to miss. Home inventory is rising, the prices are cooling off, and homes are taking longer to sell. You may be asking, are we now in a buyer's market? A lot of people are going to say, yes, we're in a buyer's market. I'm going to give you a spoiler, not yet, but when will it happen? And most importantly, what does it mean for you? Let's break it all down starting now. Hi, I'm Ricardo Lopez with Marisol Properties, bringing you the latest real estate insights in Brevard County. If you're interested in the Florida housing market, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an update. All right. Let's talk about what's actually happening in the market. Over the past 6 months, Brevard County has seen a steady increase in inventory. Active listings have grown from about 5,200 to nearly 5,800. The absorption rate, which measures how fast homes are selling, has climbed to 5.2 months. That means we are just shy of entering a full buyer's market, which typically starts around 6 months of inventory. Now, why is this happening? Let me talk about the main factors that are driving this shift. There are 3 reasons why the market is cooling. Number 1 is higher mortgage rates. Interest rates are still hovering in the 6 to 7% range. That is making homes less affordable and reducing buyer demand. With fewer buyers, homes are staying on the market longer and sellers are having to lower the prices. Number 2 is rising inventory. More sellers are listing their homes. Homes are taking longer to sell, with the average time on the market now over 100 days in some areas. And of course, the longer the homes sit on the market, the more price reductions we are starting to see. Number 3 is economic uncertainty. Job growth is still strong in Brevard County, especially with aerospace and technology companies. However, inflation and high cost of living, like property insurance, are making buyers hesitate before making a big purchase like this. Now, you may ask, when will this turn into a full buyer's market? That's a great question. Based on the current trends, I expect Brevard County will enter a full buyer's market between July and September of 2025. Why the range July to September 2025? Because there are certain things that can make it come sooner or later. One of the things we have seen is that the price cuts are getting larger. We've gone from 2.9% to 4.7% below asking price in just 6 months. So right now, houses are selling, those that are selling 4.7% below the asking price. This is a shift that shows that it's going towards a buyer's market. If inventory reaches 6 months of supply, as I said before, which is very, very likely, we are officially in a buyer's market. There are many wildcards that can make it come faster or slower. As I predict, we will get to a buyer's market. But what will make it come faster? Number 1, which is sometimes difficult to figure out why, is if interest rates stay high or go higher. Why does that make a buyer's market come faster? Because if interest rates are high or go higher, it will weaken the demand. There's going to be less number of buyers able to buy, but here we have the same number of inventory. So having less buyers, the buyers being a smaller pool, have a lot to choose from, and it becomes a buyer market in that regard. Another reason why the buyer's market may come faster is if more sellers list their homes, increasing the inventory. Again, It is that ratio between the number of houses available and the number of buyers. If there's a lot of inventory and less number of buyers, it's more of a buyer's market. It could be that more sellers start listing their homes, putting their homes for sale. I can foresee this if we have a lot of problems in the area, that there's layoffs from companies and things like that, that people are trying to sell or they are relocating. This could affect the inventory and it could increase the inventory. If it increases the inventory, then here you have it. We go more to a buyer's market. Now, the other thing is that the economy can slow down even more, making the buyers more cautious. And that is happening a little bit right now, in that the economy is slowing down and buyers are just hitting the brakes and saying, we're going to wait a little bit to see what happens. If that happens, again, we go more into a buyer's market. The reason against being that you have less number of buyers, big inventory, buyer's market. The other side of that is what happens if it takes longer to shift. What are the wild cards that are at play there? Number one would be that the mortgage rates actually drop, say to the 5% range, bringing more buyers back. Here we go. We have a lot of buyers, and then all of a sudden this may make it easier for sellers to sell, because the sellers have the upper hand. There's less inventory in terms of the number of houses for sale compared to the buyers. So if mortgage rates drop, it's going to take longer to shift to a buyer's market. The second wild card would be that sellers hold off on listing and keeping that inventory tight. It could be that sellers right now are saying, you know what, I'm not going to list right now because things are sitting there, they're not selling. I'm just going to wait until the market changes. If sellers hold off on listing, it will take longer to shift to a buyer's market because we will have less inventory. The third point is if the job growth stays strong, that supports a steady demand. Everybody feels good about the economy. People want to buy. The demand increases. And if the demand increases, you have more buyers than you have inventory. If you have more buyers than you have inventory, it's sellers, in this case, have the upper hand. So the shift is going to take a little bit longer. So what's the bottom line? The trend is moving towards buyers, but the exact timing depends on those factors that I just explained. For buyers, more inventory means more choices. You have negotiating power now. Sellers are making price cuts and offering concessions. If rates stay high, home prices may soften more. Now, be patient, but be prepared. If you find the right deal as a buyer, lock it in before rates drop and the competition picks back up. For sellers, it is really important to price strategically now. Overpricing now will just lead to longer time on the market and bigger price cuts later, because we're heading to a buyer's market, so you don't want to wait. Be ready to offer concessions, closing costs, rate buy-downs, home warranties, anything that would help attract the buyers. If you're thinking about selling in 2025, the sooner the better before the market fully shifts to a buyer's market. The Brevard housing market is changing fast. If you're thinking about buying or selling, let's talk about your options. Give me a call. I'm happy to go over everything with you in person. Thank you so much for watching. Watch this other video that is also very interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.